Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome along to Jumping Bordeaux. Welcome to FEI TV. Delighted to have you with us live on a Friday. And as you can see, the stands are filling up. And as the final touch has been put out there to this fabulous looking arena, we are just about set to get underway with this big competition, the biggest on the Friday. And it's 3 days of big sport here. Tomorrow, it is the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup, next leg. Tonight, the qualifier for that to get yourself in and set that up. And as you can see, the stars are here, starting right off with the likes of Michael van der Vleuten, world number 2 in the opening lineup as well, Stig Gerdav. You can look, Peter de Vos, who just recently won the Grand Prix in Amsterdam. Last year's Grand Prix winner here in Bordeaux, Julien Epillard, one of a whole host of local riders, French riders, Harry Schmolders, Max Kuhne, world top 10 rider. But as I say, France well represented, Cedric Herald, Julien Anquetin, Philippe Rozier, Gregory Cottard, and many, many more. 2 for Brazil. We saw Marlon's been drawn quite early. Yuri's got his great Petiki, of course, won the Golden Drum in Basel last month. Dennis Lynch has already won a class here today and has been flying along straight off the back of 2 top results in Amsterdam. Watch out for the young man from Belgium, Mathieu Bordeaux. Really does impress when I've seen him in the past. And of course, some huge names. When you look there, the likes of Olivier Peru, Roger Boss, Marcus Enning, Olivier Robert. It is a mouth-watering lineup that has been put together this evening. Over 46,000 euros worth of prize money. The course is set by Jean-François Morand and Jan Royant along with the team. And it's a 1-round faults and time competition. 12 obstacles, 15 jumping efforts out there. There's Mathieu, the 22-year-old, walking towards the fence with the glasses on from Belgium. Look back, there's one of the world's big names in I almost said Stig Gerdav, but of course it's his compatriot, Martin Fuchs. And as we look around this arena, I mean, all just been out there a few moments ago, just trying to understand, and Marlon down there having a little chat, Olivier Robert, and many, many more. There's Marcus Enning, one of the very best, one of the most stylish and accomplished riders in the sport. I have no idea how this is going to go this evening. We'll find that out in due course. But that's part of the game and part of what I love about this sport. I mean, you can look at all the form books, you can take into account all of recent competitions, past history. I mean, we talk enough about that when they come in the ring, but we never really know, do we? Not until they start. It's down to the evening, it's down to the rider with the horse. It's all about a combination working together in absolute harmony over this 1.50 track. Today, the qualifier. Tomorrow is the World Cup leg, and then on Sunday it is the Grand Prix. As I said, 3 big days of sport. Not only will FEI TV be bringing you all of the action from that Longines FEI Jumping World Cup here in Bordeaux, but this venue this week will also be the final of the FEI Driving World Cup. Well, Jean-François Morand has set this track, and it looks a really interesting test. 72 seconds, I think, is going to be the key number there. Although with it being 1 round faults in time, how much the time allowed comes into play, we will wait to find out. And there they are out the back, just putting the touches to the warm-up before they head in to the lights. There's so much going on here. It's absolutely buzzing around this arena. And excited to see. There's a huge amount, of course, coming up across the international sporting calendar. And next week it is the start of the Longines League of Nations. Can you believe the biggest Nations Cup series will be getting underway, and its second season. That, of course, to bring you as well live next week on FEI TV, and there's plenty more with the likes of sport from around the globe. We've been enjoying quite some winter season. This man has always given us something to think about because he's just competitive. We love seeing him ride, and he's the first out tonight, sitting at world number 11 at the moment, Michael van der Vleuten. Twice an Olympic individual bronze medal winner. Elviki is the choice for this evening. This lovely mare by Eldorado van der Schuysuk is going to kick things off and give us a little bit of a clue as to how this course will ride. There'll be a lot of support for the French riders, no doubt, here in Jumping Bordeaux. It's really, the crowds have poured in here this evening. They've all been trying to find their way to get to their seats in time for this to get underway. Bordeaux starting over 40 years ago, back in 1978, 1979, around then. Of course, it's become such a established feature as part of the international calendar. Second trip to France, and already Michael opening up. Great start with this mare in Leipzig. Look at this inside on the turn back. Gets the inside turn. Oof, look at that over the plank. He took every risk. Guess you've got to, if you want to try and win it and you're the first to go, you've got to give the man absolute top marks for trying. Oh, we got there on the 5 as well, I think. He really launched towards the last. He trusted her, and she really said, okay, we'll go. And, well, 58.50. I have a sneaking suspicion that the time will end up being very competitive with the way he rode that. Yet, sadly, from Michael's point of view, he might end up as the fastest 4, but he's not going to be able to better that. But immediately bringing this class to life right from the start here this evening. And this turn, I mean, just a whisker. It was just that front left coming on the angle. But it is as tight as it can be when you come through the gap. Lovely to see Hilary Scott here, a lady that rode again in Paris last year. There's a whole host of Olympians in action. In fact, she's got that super ride, Great Milky Way here as well. The ride tonight is Clarima M. A fence going down. Doesn't need to contemplate trying to come on that inside turn. She goes on the 6 to the last. Michael did get there on the 5 of Elviki, but it's a real push if you're going to go. And to say they were in slightly different. I mean, time-wise, 66.18. Just to reference you back to what we saw Michael go round in with Elviki, that was 58.50. So by my maths, we'll say that that's 8 seconds.
Et maintenant, Bordeaux, voici notre premier Français de la confrontation 2024. Je vous laisse faire.
Quite a narrow little fence the course design has given them at the end of that line. Right, on we go to the first of the French riders this evening. They are very much looking to go well at home. Marc Diliassière, the 10-year-old mare, Make My Day Z de Grez by Milo Gadago, and already pushing on. He won the Grand Prix in Lille in December with this horse. Chooses to go round on the way back to the plank, which, yes, it's the safer option. Do you leave the door open for somebody to come inside a little later? He's kept up a really nice flow to this round. Beautifully done. There we have it, the opening clear of the night, and certainly making for a happy audience. It goes to France, to Marc Diliassière, and 63.73 is the time with Make My Day. Well, it's made their day. I think you'll be happy enough with that. I mean, 63.73 again. When you're looking at comparisons to that round and time, which Michael's, and we will keep comparing to the fact that you can get around this course an awful lot quicker, but how much of a risk is it to turn up to that plank? I mean, I'd almost go as far as to say Michael could have put an end to this class as the first to go had he managed it. We'll see. Right, on we move. One of two for Brazil tonight. Marlon Zanatelli, another up in the world's top 50. Former winner of the Grand Prix here as well. GB Diarmatira is the choice this evening. This lovely 13-year-old mare by Diamant Sameli. These two had a brilliant win in Verona back in November. She can be very quick. She's very agile. Now here we go. Beautifully done. Keep a record of that. He landed over the plank in 40 seconds, coming on that inside line. He's riding with a huge amount of confidence. Sadly, no, it's not the plank, it's the Longines double. Time was faster than the leader, 61.02, still leaving a margin to Michael van der Verden, so the fence goes down and he'll fall behind him into third. But he's shown with a little bit of care, a little bit of smooth riding on that turn, but it is more than possible to jump that plank. In fact, he made it look relatively easy. He'll be disappointed he's had the fence down late on. But he was, by getting that inside turn, it saved him at least 2 seconds, maybe a little more, over what Mark did going round the long way. I'm thinking of numbers and twos. Stig Gerdat next up, the world number 2, Olympic silver this summer gone in Paris, and former Olympic champion from London, but he's still the reigning European champion. And this is Albafrins Ishanusit, the 11-year-old, scalding by Bamako Demus. Had a phenomenal win with this horse in Stuttgart. He took him to Geneva and then to Amsterdam more recently. Constant rotation of horses in their teams, giving them a little bit of downtime. Now they're going to start jumping this for fun. He's landed there in around 39 seconds, so he's a little bit faster. If he can land this clear, he's certainly going to be faster than Marc de la Serre. Took the 6 to the last, safe option. Clear round, 60.99. A new leading time. De Gerdat putting a little bit of pressure on, but he has definitely left the option for somebody to take 5 to the last. And if they do, it's a beatable time. Great effort. Take nothing away, though. Steve doing what he does best. Dishan is looking very, very relaxed out there. Beautiful to watch. Right, next up, another chance for France. This lady was flying along earlier this afternoon in the early class, Megan Mossinier. She came home second in that one. Now with Kruna Tame, the 13-year-old by Conrad, this stallion. Very committed rider. To back up a little bit coming into the combination now, you need the power. Yeah, she's elected to go round. Landing there in 44 seconds, she's already sort of 4 to 5 seconds away from Steve Gerdat's time, which will put her third at the moment in terms of that split. No, it won't, it'll drop her further. .66.24, slowest on 4, sadly for Megan. That one fence costing her quite a bit in terms of positions. 2 clear rounds, De Gerdat and Marc de la Serre, but it's back to the replays.
De Bordeaux, mais attention, il y en a avec les jours de venir, ce fantastique recto pour les Pays-Bas. Voici le numéro 60.
Another man that has having quite some start to the year of 2025, winner of the World Cup leg in Leipzig. I'm trying to make sure I get my shows in the right order. It's Willem. Tonight there is Loretto. He's only 9 years of age, just turned 9. A stallion by Adagio Tame. This is a horse I haven't seen him on previously, although I know they rode together in Amsterdam. So this escaped me in the class as I was watching. On the floor with a steady time, but that's more mileage on the clock and more experience there for Loretto with Willem, the world number 60. As I said, he only started his campaign. He went to Mechlin just prior to the new year and then was pushed on from there. And at the moment, we'll be hoping, with the way it's all gone, he'll end up with enough points to make sure he's got a place in Basel. Currently sitting at number 20 on those World Cup standings. He'll look to pick up some more points tomorrow, I do not doubt. Oh dear, what's gone on here? We all came to that picture quite late,
Vous vous souvenez, le chrono s'est arrêté, vous avez encore la musique
and
qui
I have a
qui
suspicion
qui quand même a été une forte partie pour Kevin avec
Kevin
une
Stout,
très
obviously,
belle pépite.
they're clearing what is the second fence on this course. But I have a feeling somebody was stood in the way of the fence, and that's what it looked like when Kevin had to pull up. So, of course, the judges, there's no penalising him for that. Obviously, it's just an unfortunate moment. These things do happen. Kevin stopping quite sensibly and then moving back on. He is tonight riding Queen's Blue Bee. Been so consistent, picking up points virtually every time. He's sitting on top of the Western European League at the moment. There's that leading time, but I just think the interruptions and everything connected to it. I'll be happy to get round and put a nice clear on the board with her this evening. And I should say with him this evening. Queen's Blue Bee by Ballet Drouet, the 10-year-old. Disappointing for Kevin, just having his rhythm broken, but actually full marks to him for the way that he put that behind him. Although I don't doubt there's a little bit of frustration in his face.
Programme ils ont pu courir à toute vitesse cette soirée de FFE Generali. Mais Kevin qui a toujours un réservoir de choses.
Peter Fredriksson, world number 23. Next to go, Al Capone des Carmil. 18-year-old by Diamante Semeli. Peter is certainly pushing his way back up through those world rankings. I expect these two to be competitive this evening. What's this going to be? Hopefully clear from his point of view. Clear it is, and that time, although slower, at least ensures for the moment that the Swedish superstar is up there with the clears to start off his weekend here in Bordeaux. I'm pretty sure he would have hoped to have been maybe a little bit faster if he could have been. Right, moving on to my favourite chestnut mare, Jarina J. And if you had to listen to me over the course of this winter, you'll know I'm a big fan of this horse, although I have no connection or anything, but she's just such a superstar. And of course, she really got her, I guess, just dessert. She had that lovely Grand Prix win in Amsterdam 2 weeks ago. And she's by Cicero Z Van Pamel out of a Harley mare. She's got a lot of life, a lot of energy, and a lot of power, a lot of athleticism. It's, as with all horses on all days, you never quite know what's going to happen. And sadly today it's the middle of the combination that's gone. 66-22. Solid enough round. Sadly, one fence goes down and means that there's no way of putting himself up into the placings. But presuming he'll swap his horses round and she'll come back on Sunday, I think they'll stand a great chance in the Grand Prix. He just ended up getting a little bit enthusiastic in the first part of that and ran out of room. Thinking of the Grand Prix on Sunday, this man will perhaps be trying to defend the title he won here 12 months ago, the Grand Prix winner and the great Julien Epinard, world number 10. We're here tonight with the superstar Donatella Dosch. And if he is in the mood, as you would expect him to be here at home in front of his adoring French public, 60.99 is about to come under threat. Some lovely new horses as part of his string, but this gelding, one of the best in the sport. And the confidence that he has. Oh, he's landed there in 38 seconds. Steve Gerdat's time is about to fall by the wayside. If this is clear, this is into the lead. Made the 5 easy. Absolutely brilliant. And faster than we saw earlier from Michael with the 4, but it is a perfect round. It's clear, it's quick, it is what those two do best. Julien Epinard and Donatella Dosch lead on the opening night in Jumping Bordeaux. When it comes together, those two are perhaps the fastest in the sport. Again, though, I mean, I'm not saying the class is completely over, because you just never know. There'll be plenty that'll try, but it's the ability to be so consistently quick at this level, to be able to demolish times that we've seen them do in the past on the big occasions. I think the one thing that'll count against Julien and Donatella Dosch this evening is the fact they're in the first third of the draw. So it does allow the likes of this man, perhaps even Rodrigo Garcia Almeida, to push on. He had a fabulous win. He was the last draw in the Grand Prix in Mechlin back at New Year. Tremendous night for him when he managed to chase down and pip to the post Harry Schmolders on that occasion. Stallion by Staccato. Again, gets the inside turn, but it's, you see how he just has that little jink to make the turn, and that jink in itself will just cost you a fraction. I mean, that cost you 4 falls, so game over. Smooth round, and 67.48 was never going to be fast enough, but it was always a difficult judgment. Once you've had a fence down, inevitably there's a, well, unless you know it's Michael van der Vleuten and then you're first to go, you back off a little bit as a rule. Back to the roof here this evening, isn't it? What an atmosphere inside this arena on a Friday night in Bordeaux. Second trip on the World Cup season to France. And this man certainly was in tremendous form when we were in Lyon. Cedric Harel, Fantasio Florivel Z, lovely gelding by Florian Delavie. Next of the chances for France here this evening. It's that inside turning and makes it nice and smooth. .41 on landing. This is available, so he's not going to beat what we saw from Zhu. He's not going to beat any of them, sadly. He knew he had to keep pushing, and Lally was trying. He's done what he can. I just wondered if he'd been able to try and be a little bit faster than Steve. He'd have gone third, 61.45 or 54 even. He was within that sort of half a second margin as Steve Gerdali sits in second. But it's lovely to see him. Such a competitive combination. Lovely relationship that he's got with the horses. Plenty more chances for France, though. And the crowd know it because they already can see the next rider coming in. Julien Anquetin is never one to hold back. There is something to be said for French riders being fast against the clock. Perhaps Julien Epillard and Donatella Doja may be sort of that outstanding combination that we know because they've got the 5-star prizes at Grand Prix level alongside it. But, you know, this man is quick. This horse is quick. You combine the two and you wait and see what happens. Z Ice Cube Z, the 12-year-old by Zakharov. Full marks to Ice Cube. He really put the effort in to get out of that combination. Oof, delicately done, 39 as he landed. Steve Gerdat second place is under threat yet again. Julien is still clear at the top as far as the split went. But now we're pushing one on the way to the double. Is he going to take another? He's running to the last. Where's he going to be? This is good. 58.24. He chased down Julien Epillard at the end. He knew in his heart he'd found a way to take back a stride or two if he could. Great effort. It's Julien 1, Julien 2, but it's Anquetin into second with Z Ice Cube Z. And he gained time from the plank all the way to the finish. And it was, I think, the fact he took the stride away from him, coming down to the double, which we had a different sort of camera angle, but it was a little bit on the brave side. But the horse, what a star. Ice Cube, what a beautiful horse. Now, Harry Schmolders and Mr. Tack. One of the most competitive in the sport. Mr. Consistent. It's by non-stop. At that second place on the opening day in Amsterdam. Also the horse that took him to second in that Grand Prix in Mechlin. He was pipped at the last by Rodrigo. Interesting how he's just elected to go around. Keeping this nice and forward, but he's not trying to take any risks. Comes the clear, puts him into the top 5. Harry Schmolders 67.44. little bit faster than Peter Frederiksen, who's the slowest. Oh, no, Kevin Stout's the slowest of the clears. So, yeah, 7 of them. Julien Epillard, Julien Aquatin, Stig Gerdat, Marc Delasser, Harry Schmolders, Peter Frederiksen, Kevin Stout. Those are the 7 at the top at the moment. Back to France and to Olin Leroy, Cresquel de Blagnac, and South Français Stallion by Ugane Sit. It's a shame. He's a rider that's had a wonderful career in the world of eventing as well as the world of show jumping. Great all-round jockey tonight on 4:64 is the final time for Olin Leroy. Thinking of the world of eventing, of course, there's the indoor eventing here this evening. Big night on the Friday night in Bordeaux. So, where's that next challenge going to come from? Could well come from these two. EIC up to Jacko Blue. The Jacko Blue Irish sports horse, this gelding now 14 with Max Kuhner. Had a bit of time off after that busy summer. That's a shame. They had that second in the Grand Prix in the Global Tour in Monaco. And then some downtime after Volkenswald in August until they came back in Leipzig. It's only their 3rd show back at the cutting edge. Sadly, it's a score of 4:62.85. Time-wise, would have gone into 4th. That's a lovely big smile from Max. He's really happy with the way Jack is going, and they've got as I say, a tremendous track record. It's a big 5-star performer. It's not going to come together every night. Talking of big 5-star performers, Eduardo Alvarez Asnar. This is legend. Of course, his legendary ride is also here. We saw Rockefeller jumping a little earlier. The simply brilliant Rockefeller de Paville Bois Margot, the 20-year-old super star. Legend who has also been such a key part of the team and the stable. Now 14 by Ugane Sit. It's unfortunate. Solid enough round, but he'd had the early fence with Legend, and it would play to his chances. Nothing changing in terms of the riders at the top. Julien and Julien. Epinard and Aquitaine, 1 and 2. France. Steve Gerdat sitting in third. Next to go, it is Philippe Rosier and Dirty Sweet. This is a mare that by Cornel Belensky. I think he'd like get her a little bit more forward, but she is coming on those inside turns. And again, 39 as they landed. What's he able to do at the back end of this course? Because the top three could shuffle again here. 58.13, I'm not sure he's going to quite get there, but he just was a little bit wider coming to that Longines double. Steve Gerdat's under pressure though in third. This could be France, 1, 2, 3, and it is. Because Philippe Rosier has got into the podium positions with a beautiful round on Dirty Sweet. He's smiling, she's smiling. Job done. Very, very happy combination. He just looked like he got himself, just in a couple of places like that, he was just having to push himself back off the turn. And those tiny little moments and inflections do start to mount up in a class that is getting awfully tight. Oh, needs to do Batiki and Yuriman. 17-year-old gelding by Valentino. Won the Golden Drum, the big class in Basel, back at the start of this year, just last month. Let's remember that, it was only last month. This year is moving along rather quickly though. Yuri, that was the second year in a row he defended it. It was great to see. It's been such a consistent combination over the years and an ever-present part of the sport. Sometimes they don't always get the results that in a way they may well deserve, but it's a sport that is tough. But Basel was special. On the 4, 67.39. So for Tiki, Yuri Mansur, another on a line of forces, an awfully long lineup of riders on a score of 4. It's interesting when you look at the results. We've jumped 20. There's 15 still to go. And I mean, this is, full marks to the course designer. He's given us a track this evening that's got options. It's got a real test. We're seeing different fences falling in all sorts of different places. But we're only seeing one go down per rider because we have no rider. I hope that doesn't change, Thomas Ryan, on more than a score of 4 as things currently stand. We have those 8 clears, the rest though just with one fence. Well, Thomas Ryan is next, one of 2 in the field this evening for Ireland. This is
Et puis,
Connoisseur,
Longines
PRW.
s'est imposé avec Davis Lynch tout à l'heure dans les points
10-year-old
individuels.
Hanoverian gelding. Another by Cornel Oblensky. He takes the wider line, but he's keeping a really forward flow. So nice tonight. This course is so jumpable. Big leap, showing lots of scope as well. Connoisseur PRW. Solid round here from the Irishman. Oh, tipped it. 64.06, such a shame. Just puts a toe on that back rail. Tiny, tiny tap. 64.06, ends up down in 14th place. He would have otherwise been in the top 6. So really costly moment right at the very end of that course. He couldn't have left it later. And you can barely see, certainly on the long shot, you can't see the touch. Here we go. Gregory Cottard and Coquin de Val, famed for the fact that this horse, as you can quite obviously see, has no noseband. She's 13 now, this mare by my Lord Carthago. And it's the sort of combination I would happily predict could easily rattle the top 3. Be able to make the turns. He was going to come inside to the plank. I think that was always obvious all the way, and he's landed in 39. Top 3 is under threat. Ooh. Just trying to jump across it slightly. .26. It would have gone 4th actually with that time, although we're only talking 0.04 of a second away from 3rd in terms of time. But a fence falls and goes into 10th. Second fastest on a score of 4, sitting in 9th at the moment. Michael van der Vleuten still with that time. Had he jumped it clear, would have been sat in 3rd himself. Either way, France 1, 2 and 3. Julien Epillard, Julien Ocotin and Philippe Rosière on the opening night at Jumping Bordeaux. With 13 left to go, Martin Fuchs up next. It's a great feature at the moment on the platform if you haven't yet seen it. Of course, FEI TV, Clip My Horse, the insights from Icons, the family dynamics. Martin sits down with his dad, Thomas, and there's such an insight into the dynamic between the two of them, the relationship, Martin's early years, and a fascinating, a really open and honest conversation from the pair of them. And tonight he's riding LL Lord. Number 5 again now is Martin. Beautifully done. 63-1-1. With a little bit more confidence in for LNL Lord. These LNL horses have got so much promise. Martin Fuchs there going into the top 5 for the world number 5, 63-1-1. Slots in behind Steve Gerda, his good friend. Next to go to Germany, Marco Kutscher, Aventador S. Stallion, the 12-year-old. European champion of 2005. These two finished in 4th in Leipzig in the World Cup round just recently. Decent performance. I think he'll be faster than we just saw from Martin. That's going to go into 5th now, 62-69. Marco Kutscher, very promising. There's Aventador S, the stallion by Armitage, delivering another really solid round. And a chance to come for Germany a little bit later in the draw. Still plenty more to go for France. Denmark in the mix, yet Sweden still. And so the Dutch and Irish all with chances. Talking of Irish, here he is, Dennis Lynch and Brooklyn Heights. There's the bridesmaid of Amsterdam, 2nd in the Grand Prix, 2nd in the World Cup with Vistagrand. Marks, he was fine. He was so competitive in Amsterdam. He's, to be fair, that's the way he is as a rule. Brooklyn Heights has been a real championship ride. Navab Derev, the sire of this gelding, now 16. He's in Molly Ostrom's. Second in the Grand Prix here last year. Ooh. Just got to make a little correction coming off the corner and made it well. Brooklyn Heights have all of the composure to be able to come through that, but maybe it put him off coming on the inside line to the plank. There's no way you can chase Julian's time if you're going to go the long way round. Decent start, nice clear round, steady in terms of the overall time, 64.75, and the Irish star goes into the top 10 in 8th, 11 clear rounds overall, and 10 more still to go, but it is Julien Epinard and Donatella Doge still leading.
Dans ce Prix FFE Générali, voici que rentre celle qui était juste derrière lui, également tout à l'heure dans le tribune. Elle était à la 2e place, elle aussi est en forme. On lui souhaite le meilleur ce week-end. C'est la France avec tête.
Marie Demont next up, France.
Avec une jument de maison qui s'appelle Ipodal, qui est devant.
Finished in second a little bit earlier on today. What is she able to do this evening? This is Epona de Quesnoy, the 11-year-old mare by Oregon de Champ.
Il se passe quelque chose à Bordeaux, c'est jamais arrivé dans l'histoire récente. Une femme s'impose au Grand Prix de Coupe du Monde.
French rider certainly holding sway at the top of the moment, 1, 2 and 3. Also on the 4, continuing that impressive record of a class where we have no one on more than a score of 4. And it's been a whole host of different fences falling, and there's 9 to go, and I really don't want that to change, because I actually don't think, I'm racking my brains, and I've obviously seen quite a few classes. I don't think I've ever seen a class where they've all jumped for clear or 4, and there's never been a worse score. If that's the way it turns out, that'll be quite some story. And as I say, full marks goes to the course designer, who's given us a brilliant track tonight. On we go to Kim Emmen. Island VG. She came close in Amsterdam with this horse, gelding by VDL Zarocco Blue. Twice found her way up into the top 5. She jumped well with him in London as well. Interestingly, has been a really competitive horse she's had for quite a while, although the two of them together have never actually won a ranking class. But it'll come. She elects to go the long way round. Shows the margin, and she gives that back rail a tiny tap. We've seen others do it this evening, and it's gone down. Jumps it, and jumps it well. Clear, 64.71. It's into 8th for Kim Emmen and Island VG. And we continue with the runner clears or 4s. It's 12 to the clears out of the 27 that have jumped. As I said, like you hear her there, 1 or 2 places just giving a pole a tiny little tap. You go back to someone like Thomas Ryan, of course, he barely touched the back rail of the last fence and it went down. On we go to France's François Xavier Boudin, riding here with Gabera de Marais, the 9-year-old. 4 for France still to jump in the last 8. That's by Diamante Semeli out of a Canaan mare. Those two jump very well in Mechelen and in Amsterdam. Front rail. I'm sorry, that's the middle rail. It's a little bit of that building up process. They've jumped in a few 150s. Again, just stepping up through the heights again here this evening, and that ruins my record of a class where we only have clear all 4. But it's a horse that's still learning, and it's only their 4th 150. They've all come relatively recently, since November. Tonight it's 8:65:37 on the clock for François Xavier Boudin. As I've mentioned, still, as far as the French will be concerned, they still have chances to come. On we go to Sweden, to Erika Likhammer van Helmond. 10-year-old mare that she's riding this evening is Saratoga LW, by staccato gold out of a Conor Gablensky mare. It's produced some wonderful young horses and very competitive. She had that top 7 finish in the World Cup in Mechelen. That was with Icon Tessa, who we saw jumping here a little bit earlier. Two on 8. And 8 it is, 64.80 for Erika Likhammer van Helmond and Saratoga LW. One of the Swedish riders here this week, alongside Peter Fredriksson. Of course, Peter, one of the clears so far, one of the 12. Look at that, though. Very happy with how our horse has gone. Nice big pat. Thank you very much. We've done what we can this evening, and we'll have another go tomorrow. Here he is, Mathieu Bourdouis, the 22-year-old from Belgium. His young horse tonight, the just turned 8-year-old Remco van de Ilierbos. It's gelding that he took to the individual silver. Well, not that it's all individuals, of course. It was his super young horse Remco that he rode at the World Breeding Championships in the 7-year-old final last year. I really first really noticed this young man, and the way he's been producing this horse, he given it a little bit of time off after Larnacan. He was having a busy sort of year in the run into that, and then he went to Ockelbeek up to Centaur the other week. It's nice to see him getting another chance. Saw him in Mechelen. Jumped brilliantly in Geneva as well when he was in the under-25s. Oh dear, he just took a little bit of a gamble to the last. Learn from mistakes. He had to go when he wanted to, and you can see he'll be a bit frustrated. 65.06, it would have seen him going into the top 10. Sadly, of course, he's now 20th. But he just asked a little bit too much at the last. Just a bit too far off. Youngest horse in the class. And youngest rider in the class as well. Next to go, Olivia Peru. Olympic team bronze last summer. GL events, Dora Doguli, the 12-year-old star mare by Kinan. And a lot of noise to be made for these two. This horse quite a bit of time off after Geneva until he went down to Spain last week. He'll be pleased. He was never looking to try and race to the finish. He's got bigger plans. I'm sure that will include either tomorrow or Monday with De Gouilly, but tonight, top 10, 66.51. Comfortable round, clear round, confident round. Many more ways we could describe it, but they're all positive. Unbelievably, we've already got into the final four. It's still France, 1, 2, and 3. Now, first of the final four rides for Denmark. Laura Baron-Kierkegaard, Claire 186, the 11-year-old mare by Castellito. These two won that under-25 Grand Prix in Salzburg in December. Already still just 23. She's the first to have had the final part of the combination. Just unsettled Claire a little bit. And that's cost her at the plank as well. Last makes a score of 12. A young lady from Denmark, Laura Baron-Kierkegaard and Claire 186. Dropping down the board. Well, this next combination, I think the crowd will tell you what they think. They love him. You just need to soak it in, because he is and has been such a star in the world of French jumping for so many years, from Olympic gold to European champion. And with Ballerine de Viplion, this beautiful mare, another great chestnut mare by Barabé de Rouet. You know he's going to give his all. They had that top three on the opening night in Basel. That was the last time these two were out. They were in the jump off in the Grand Prix in Basel as well. Ooh, Roger! Nearly fell out the front door. Comes on the inside line. Tell you what, Julien Epillard, I'd be getting a little worried if I were you, because Bosti's on a charge. Oh no! It's gone. She just maybe got a little strong. Where's the clock? 58:42. I said, Julien Epillard, you might want to be a little nervous. In the end, it would have gone into third, but it isn't to be. It's the fastest on 4. Not that that's much consolation, but he was always going to try, and that's why we love him. He brings his own style, and the horses really go for him. But it was that fence tonight that stopped him getting into the top 3. Well, from one great from France to a all-time great in this sport for Germany, Marcus Henning. Man that has won gold at Olympic, world and European level. Liam de Rosset tonight for the Block Blue Gelding. The German rider who has always been one of the most stylish in the sport and in the most unbelievable position. Priam is quite a big horse. He's still able to guide him through the turns. He'll come inside. Sure, I mean, he might be able to dislodge the top 3 here, but I'm not sure he's fast enough to catch either of the Julians. Good strong performance, quicker than Germany's Marco Kutscher. It's now top 5 for Marcus Henning. Germany 5 and 6 in the line, but it is into 5th, and a really nice start to Bordeaux for Marcus Henning. Priam de Rosset getting a big pat and a big thank you from the German great, which leaves us just one more to go, and by virtue of that final rider rides for France, it's going to be a very happy audience. It is definitely a French winner on the opening night. Something special. I had to get home, but there's always something special watching Marcus. Here we go then to the last up. Olivier Robert. Esprit de Figueroa AA. 11-year-old stallion by Epsilon. Looking very calm. Ooh, just a moment. We're not quite ready. Now we are. Time to beat 58.13. a tap and toe going through the combination, but no longer. It is a win for Julien Epillard, which bizarrely actually means he's had back-to-back Bordeaux wins, because he and Donatella Doge won the Grand Prix to close it out 12 months ago, and they win to start things off on the opening night in 2025. Nice round, but one down. 65-37 for Olivier Robert as the last to go in the big class on a Friday night. The qualifier, of course, ahead of the FEI Longines Jumping World Cup leg of the Western European League that will take place here live on FEI TV tomorrow afternoon. We'll bring you all the sport, of course, across the weekend. And as well, this weekend here in Bordeaux, not only is a jumping special, but it is also the final of the FEI Driving World Cup. So all that to come. We've got the eventing tonight as well, and much more across the platform all the way through to that Grand Prix on Sunday. But it has started as one might have expected when you looked at the start list and saw Julien Epillard and Donatella Doge in it, because he started as he means to go on. The French star has won. It is a Julien 1-2 with Julien Epillard in second and Z, Ice Cube Z, and a France 1-2-3 with Philippe Rosière and Dirty Sweet taking third. The world number 2 Steve Gerda finishes fourth. Germany in 5 and 6 with Marcus Henning and Marco Kucher. Looking forward to that Longines FEI Jumping World Cup round tomorrow, and of course all of the driving live with you on FEI TV. Plenty more though across the platform, as we'll also bring you all of the action, including the eventing here in a couple of hours' time. Looking forward to that and more live here in Bordeaux. So enjoy. We've only just got started and we've got off to a flyer. Let's get set for plenty more live with you here on FEI TV.
Donatello is back in great form.
Yeah, it's important for us to arrive in Bordeaux in good form. In France, it's a special show for us. So yeah, to see my horse like this today is it's a good news, and he's jumping very well the last shows. He win in Basel, only one done in Amsterdam, but he's in great form and really happy today.
Are you going to ride him tomorrow?
Yeah, I ride him in the World Cup.
Do you think it will be as easy as it looked today?
Yeah, it will be bigger tomorrow. I don't know if it's the best preparation, but okay, now we have a lot of experience. We'll try to do our best, you know, one done come easy, but the good news is I think I have enough points to go to the final. So now I try to make the best plan to arrive in good form in Basel.
Thank you very much.
Well, listening in there, but let's have a little look at this, because now it's the head-to-head, side-by-side, all the way through. And I'm curious to know how much time Julien Epillard made up at the end, because we know he was behind a bit from the start. Actually, there's nothing in it between them as they go over the fences. Julien and Julien keeping it pretty much even Stevens. You can see maybe just a little bit of a moment getting his nose in front on the turn back to the plank and just try to keep that advantage. He really had to work to get the stride. I mean, Donatella Doge makes the distance easy. And it's only a 1/10 of a second at the end, which is why it's almost impossible to divide them. Tremendous, but it is a win for Julien Epillard. Congratulations to him and Donatella Dosh. Well, we look forward to seeing him in the World Cup tomorrow. I'll leave you enjoy the presentation of awards and everything that's still to come here this evening.
C'est pour ma fin de carrière, pour sa carrière. Merci. C'est pour ma fin de carrière, je vais le garder pour moi. Avec les couvertures.
Ouais, je sais bien en plus.
Fais attention, parce que quand je monte dessus, il est
pardon, excusez-moi.
Ils sont pas prêts, Julien.
Là. C'est dans l'ombre inverse. Ah ok, je retourne là-bas alors.